Hello, everyone. Hope you are doing great. And let's start with today's story titled, Parents in Their 40s Treated Me, 21 Female, Very Badly, and I Cut Them Off. Now they want a new beginning. Sorry if this is long. I have a non-identical twin sister. The two of us couldn't be any more different. She is lucky enough to be very beautiful and tall and very good looking. She has always ticked every box on her looks. I wasn't so lucky. I wasn't on the beautiful side and was shorter. Right now I'm 5'1", she's 5'8". She was also better at making friends and being sociable while I was always her awkward sister. Now I know I'm on the autism spectrum, but was only diagnosed 2 years ago. Parents never bothered with that. Now none of these make my parents horrible. What makes them horrible is the way they treated me and my sister. They always treated her like she was an angel and treated me like I'm a loser. This goes back as early as we were 3, 4 years old. For each 20 pictures that they have of her childhood, they have maybe two, three of mine. Literally, they have over 10 times as many pictures of her, and most of mine are of both of us. She would always get a lot of attention from everyone, and I got none. My parents spent much more money on her too. Say if they wanted to spend $100 on clothes, 80 goes to her and $20 to me. Their reasoning has always been that she's more beautiful and it's worth spending more on her as she gets a lot more attention, while nobody looks at me anyway. So why bother with better clothes? They have literally told me that many times. I was in a sports team. They never once came to see me playing while they go see my sister cheerleading every week. Extend this to everything and you know the story of my life. I hated every second of my childhood. I hated my sister. Yes, I know none of this was actually her fault. I worked on myself with a therapist so I no longer feel any hate, blame towards her. Since I was 15, I was counting the days until I became 18 and can leave and never come back. And that's what I did. That's the age at which you can leave home without parent consent where we live. I left home the day after my 18th birthday. The night before, our parents threw a birthday party for us. Well, for her. Their gift for her was a $1,000 gift card from a luxury designer brand. For me, a $100 gift card for a bookstore, arguing that this 100 gives me the same level of ability to buy the things I like, books, as that $1,000 would to her, expensive clothes. Okay, their logic. They knew I was thinking of leaving, but had no idea I wanted out as soon as possible. I left that day. They asked me to stay and allow them to help out, but I was like, I've had enough of you, leave me alone. I never made any contact with them after that. As soon as I was able to, I moved to another city, to get even as further away as I hated that city too. They called, texted me for a while, but I never answered or replied and changed my number eventually. I had also removed them from all my social media. I set it so that if they sent me any emails, it would automatically get deleted, and a reply, automatically deleted, do not waste your time, to be sent. That's the current status of things on my side. 2 days ago, my dad sent me a message on Facebook. My initial instinct was to delete it, but I opened it and started reading. This was the first message in months from them. He explained that he understands that they were not good parents and they did a lot of wrong, but maybe we can start over. He asked if I could come over for dinner at some point so all of us could get to know each other better. I haven't responded. I don't know if I should give them another chance or just delete this message and don't look back. TLDR. Parents treated me much worse than my twin sister because is more beautiful. I left right after my 18th birthday and ceased all contact. Now they want a new beginning after 3 years. And now to the update. This is a big update and something quite shocking. I've got to go back to my therapist. Before I get to it, a lot of you asked about my relationship with my sister. Well, there's no relationship really. I spent all of my childhood hating her and never really had a nice relationship with her. She was not like my parents, but they had spoiled the hell out of her and she sort of always saw herself as the better one of the two of us. Not surprised there. And right now, I don't even blame her for that. On the day that I was leaving, I gave her a hug and told her that maybe if we had different parents, we could have really been sisters, but it's not how it turned out in this life. But maybe we can make up for it later ourselves. I told her that if she wants to talk to me about this, she can call me and we can meet up. She never called me. As it appeared from the last post, I went to talk to my therapist about this and she suggested that I can initiate some conversation and see how it goes. Based on her assessment, she was happy if I wanted to go and see them. I just need to understand that there's no obligation to go or stay. I replied to my father's message with this. Hi, Dad. For us to ever have a chance of seriously starting over, you owe me an answer. Why? I expect an honest answer. No, why what? No, come and let's talk in person or anything of that sort. Just give it to me straight. Believe me, I can handle reading it if you could handle doing it. If you're not willing to give me that, then I'm not willing to start over. He came back to me the next day with a long message, explaining why. Let's get right to it. He told me that he and my mom wanted a child, and only one child as they didn't have the resources and energy of having more than one. They realized that we're twins. That screwed up everything and actually made them sad rather than happy. They decided to give one of us up for adoption. They looked around and even found a couple. In case you wondered, I was the one they decided to give away because I was smaller and my eyes weren't blue. Yeah, that's how you decide which one of your kids to keep. They arranged everything, even took me to them, but that couple bailed out before signing the papers when they saw me and my sister. Their conscience couldn't handle separating twin sisters like this. After this, they looked for some couples, and nobody seemed willing to adopt one of the twin sisters. They entertained the idea of putting me into foster care, but they couldn't live with themselves if they did. I think that says a lot. Stranger couples, who so badly wanted to adopt a child, couldn't be heartless enough to separate twin sisters, but their freaking parents wanted to do it. It's beyond me. So they had to raise me themselves, and they didn't enjoy it at all. In their minds, the fact that they didn't put me into foster care was a favor in itself, more than what I apparently deserved, and that's why they never cared to do more for me. Their full time and resources belonged to my sister, and the small part of it that got to me, they saw it as me taking what's my sister's away. That's how they saw me. No wonder my childhood turned out the way it did. He said that deep inside they always knew what they were doing was wrong, but they could never step up and do the right thing during these 18 years. Why not? They thought that changing the dynamic would negatively affect my sister, as she's now used to being offered more time and resources, and I'm used to not getting it, so making it more equal would be a luxury for me and a pain for her. They thought that's not fair for my sister to be in pain for the sake of my luxury. Again, their logic. I don't even know what to say to that. Ever since I left, Mom and Dad have been having trouble. My sister is off to college, and they're alone now with all the time in the world to think about what they did. They've been to marriage counseling, and according to him, that has helped them see everything clearly now and see how cruel they were to me. He says they want to start over and make up for all of it if I'm prepared to allow them. This is quite shocking for me. This explains a lot about why my childhood turned out the way it did. I'm going to be honest. I wished they had given me away for adoption. I really, really do. I could have been with adoptive parents who really wanted me rather than with biological parents who never did. I still don't believe that they have changed, though. This can be the result of my sister, their golden child, being away and not spending as much time with them and them trying to replace her with me. I don't want to do that at all, but I don't know. I've got to talk to my therapist. Please give me your opinions again. You guys were so useful to me last time. Your help means a lot. TLDR. Dad opened up about how they wanted to put me up for adoption, and they couldn't find a couple to agree to separate twin sisters. That turned out to be how they decided to treat me during my childhood. They say they're getting counseling and see the wrong in them and want to make up for it now. Her parents' logic makes no sense. They want to fix their relationship with OP because they're lonely. What happens if their other daughter comes back? Would they still want OP around? I doubt it. And next, the second story. I told my sons I wish I never gave birth to them. I don't regret it. I don't feel bad. I don't care how many times you come to my door to apologize. I let them and their father bully me for years. Call me all kinds of names. How they reject every present I ever bought them because it wasn't brand new or super expensive, despite me having to go hungry sometimes to even afford what I could get them. I come to their father's house one day to say happy birthday. They ignore me. I tried to give them a hug. I got pushed away. Their father told me to stop annoying them on their 16th birthday, for God's sake. I got them both Nintendo Switches for their birthday, and I set my carefully wrapped present on the table, and they opened it last. When they saw it, they said, "Really, that's it?" I looked confused and asked, "What's wrong? Was it the color this time? Or maybe they expected games too." "No one plays Nintendo, you effing dinosaur." They said, "Dinosaur? You guys never text me. I didn't know what you wanted, and I know you broke the one you shared, so I got you both your own." I told them. They set the presents I had to starve myself for on the table, and everyone went inside for the cake. I finally realized they don't care. They really don't care. Why it takes me years to realize I don't know, but I do know. I took the switches and headed for the door. Their dad stopped me and in front of everyone said, "Hey, where are you going? You're leaving your kids on their birthday?" "Let her go, it won't make a difference," one of my boys said. Everyone laughed. Everyone freaking laughed. I started to tear up, and my son's aunt told me to stop being a big baby and hold the phone for pictures. I got angry, and I yelled in front of everyone. I hate you. I hate you all. I'm tired of this family abusing me, using my trauma against me, making me feel small because I'm not rich and spoiled. I've done nothing but love this family, but because I'm built like a child, I can't sit with the adults. No one came to my birthday, why should I be here? No one cares about me, but y'all won't bat an eye if I died, would you? Then I looked my boys dead in their eyes and said, I hate you both. I wish I never had you. Ran out to my car and left. I blocked them all. The next day I heard a knock on my door and saw my kid's father. He begged me to come to his house and talk to our kids. He said they're so sorry. Yet I've never heard this come out from their mouths, so I'm not interested. That was 3 days ago. He came to my door and asked me to forgive them. But I won't. Don't think I can. Now here's a twist. Her daughter also shared her side of the story with a title, I Hate My Mom and How She Convinced Thousands of People That She's the Victim. This is going to be long, but please bear with me. I, 23 female, am no longer in contact with my mom, Jane, because of years of abuse, manipulation, fear-mongering, and hatred. I was conceived through a one-night stand. Jane couldn't get in contact with the guy, and so carried and raised me as a single mother until she met someone. And God did she let me know about it. She made sure to tell me how unwanted, unlovable, and disgusting I was. She admitted to neglecting me as an infant and toddler, and how she would essentially have screaming matches with me. When I was 5, she met William, and they fell in love. They got married within a year, and William adopted me after his twin sons, John and Oscar, both were born. I was 7. Their relationship moved very fast, and I believe it caused a lot of turmoil. I truly believe the pregnancy was to trap William, but that's speculation and opening a whole can of worms. During the pregnancy, Jane would have tantrums about having twins, how she only wanted one, and how she'd only love the first one that came out. This was a new side to her that William hadn't seen before, and he shut it down quickly. Well, she kept her promise, and only gave attention to Oscar. John was completely neglected by her other than to feed. She had intense postpartum depression, and that's not her fault. But what is how she handled it. She refused to get help and claimed postpartum depression is for insane and bad mothers. At some point when the boys were a year or so old, she was admitted into hospital for having intense thoughts about hurting herself or others. She was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and postpartum psychosis. She spent 5 months in a hospital/mental health facility. For those 5 months she was gone, I have never felt so much love from another person in my life. Bearing in mind I was just 8, all I had known was yelling and emotional abuse. When she got out, both sides of the family had a big sit-down and told her their expectations. It was all doable. Go to therapy, take her meds, and they made her a list of emergency contacts who she could call if she was feeling it all a bit too much. She had a support system in place, but she didn't use it. We moved out when William got home and found me at age 11 trying to cook dinner for my brothers, except Jane had turned the gas and electric off as punishment. Jane had locked herself in the bathroom and wouldn't come out because John was upset. Remember, she hates John. She had also thrown a ton of stuff around in a fit of rage because I said she probably shouldn't take Oscar to the shop if she can't walk straight. William packed our stuff up and we left for his mother's. Jane was not happy about that. When he found out she had thrown crap around and at me, he was furious. He filed for divorce the following Monday. The court gave him full custody with mandated visitations from Jane. I remember crying myself to sleep when I found that out. We moved out of Grandma's house and into a nice flat where we seemed to get our life together. Other than the visitation, we were good. Until William got a new job and we had to move across the city. This set Jane off, who up until this point had been on mostly good behavior. We moved closer to William's sister and her family. They all knew about Jane. Aunt was on the contact list. But we all tried to move forward. Things were good for a couple of years. But then I turned 16. The day after my 16th, I got a text from Jane telling me that she's moving out and that I need to pack up my stuff from my old room. I went, stupidly, and began putting things into piles. Jane just stood in the doorway and eventually began bawling her eyes out. She began apologizing for everything she had done and how she feels like a failure. This is when she told me about the emotional and verbal abuse she inflicted on me as an infant, toddler, and how she blames herself for my numerous mental health issues. This was all leading up to her asking if I could ever forgive her. I said no. I said that she may feel guilty, but she's stuck in this cycle where she's abused the boys as well. She lost her freaking mind and kicked me out. It got a little physical between us, and she ended up screaming that I'm no longer her daughter and how she's disowning me. When I got home, I told William everything. He was furious too and went to her place and arrived back home hours later with our stuff. I don't know what went down and I don't want to. We filed a police report. I had scrapes and bruises, and her mandated visits were lifted. A weight had been lifted off my shoulders. It was like this black cloud of negativity had finally eased up. I felt so much happier. I began to focus on school and my family without dreading having to see her. We couldn't get a restraining order, but she kept her distance. She would send birthday and Christmas cards, but we never reciprocated. The boys know a bit about what went down, but William was very frugal with what he told them. He said he didn't want to inflict unnecessary emotional damage onto them. Then on their 16th birthday, she shows up, which was weird because she never shows up to anything. I kept my distance and stayed in the kitchen, but I could still see and hear everything. I was shaking in fear and had to run to the bathroom at one point. She had bought them both Nintendo Switches. They both opened her presents last and both quietly thanked her. There were no insults being thrown around. No one said, let her go, it won't make a difference. The atmosphere was stifling. In fact, it was Jane who yelled and insulted first. She called the twins ungrateful brats, and the second she stood up to yell, William and Auntie began to push her outside. As she was being pushed, she pointed at the twins and yelled, "You're both effing ungrateful, unlovable little pricks, and my biggest regret is not aborting you when I had the chance." The party was naturally ruined at this point, and the boys are both totally emotionally destroyed. William left at one point to go and talk to her because she had blocked William, the only one who has her number, but I don't know the specifics. It's been a few weeks since the incident, and the boys are both destroyed. Oscar has become a recluse, and John isn't eating. I'm furious. I'm sorry for making this so long. I'm just so mad, traumatized, and upset by the whole thing. And the edit. I do have a Reddit account, but I only use it to post Sims 4 content. Kinda lame, I know. And I am only subscribed/following subs of games I play. My second year of uni has also been kicking my arse, and so I haven't been online as much. I know her post got a lot of traction, but I didn't see it. Plus, it got deleted, so it's not going to pop up on suggested sub-posts Reddit is pushing. I did hear about my mother's post from the THT podcast, hence the weird timing. I know it seems a little coincidental, but I promise this is all real. I have zero ill will towards anyone who sympathized with my mother as they were going off her original post. I've gotten many people DMing me about it, and I just wanted to say that I totally understand why anyone reading the original post would think, what a crappy family. It did suck to read everyone siding with her, but there is literally no reason to be mad as that's all the info they had. Obligatory, thanks for the support comment. I will be logging out now for my own sake. And here I was sympathizing with her mother too. Turns out she's not so innocent after all, just a classic narcissistic manipulator. Stay far away from her, OP. You're strong, and I wish you the best of luck. And that's the end of today's saga. Dear viewers, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss out. See you next time. Bye-bye.